what is a plant community? So, I wanted to talk about things I've generally learned, and this will vary for different people, of what I've learned about overwintering your palm trees. So, I've learned a lot that different palm trees meet different requirements for overwintering, like the Majesty won't need that much water, where some palms will still need quite a bit of water during the winter season, even. But I've majorly learned that it definitely matters about light on your palms. Like, no matter where your palms are, even if we was to go in here, they are still right up against a window some way or in some shape or form. Even little finger lady is right up against a window. But what I've majorly learned is that no matter what, when it's warm out, you take them outside. I don't care if it's going to string your back or not. Well, at least with me, I don't care because they need the light. And it's the way to stop them from burning if they're so used to being in shade. Like, I'll have issues with this guy every year where the new fronds will burn because I have them in a lower light situation. And then before you know it, it'll have to put out new fronds. Which, granted, that's going to do in the summer anyways, but the main goal is to try to keep them nice all year long. And I've learned that some of your palms that are what I would say, quote unquote, more of the sexier palms, like Majesty palms, Christmas palms, they're going to want as much light as possible, even with supplemental grow lights. And, my grow lights are good enough for it, but they're not right on the palm. So anymore, I just take them out when it's getting nice and warm. So anytime, like, even if it's almost in the high 30s, I'll take them out for a bit, but not too long. And this just for the Majesty palm. Like, they're just going to need as much light to stay healthy as possible. And I think that's a lot of problems we have is we can't keep them healthy. We can't keep them healthy through the winter. So I feel like that me doing what I'm doing is definitely helping my palms out. That just goes for pretty much any tree in general, either it's bonsai, palms. I mean, they're going to want as much light as possible because you got to remember, even when you get the light through the window, like the light will hit this guy just fine. But you got to remember, it's still filtered and it's not as much as it would be, say, if you had them outside taking direct sun. Because you got to remember, the sun isn't as strong as it is during the summer when it's winter time. So your trees are going to need the ample amount of light. But that's just a few things I've learned about my palms so far. And I've learned that even in the pots, some of them can take it quite cold. Like, I've let this guy stay out until it gets all the way down to 35 for a brief minute, and then I take him out. In the ground, they could probably take down to 35, but I don't want to risk it with this guy since, of course, he is in a pot. I've learned that the other palms are cold hardy. I've let stay out. Like most of your fan palm species, your windmill palm, finger lady palm, Chinese fan palms, I have let them stay out for the most part. And of course, I don't water them. I don't do nothing, which is something I've been doing. Is just letting nature nurture them through the winter. But that's just what I've learned so far through my experience with palms. Is you want a healthy palm, you're gonna have to expose them one way or another. You're just gonna have to look up what is the lowest that your palm can take, and You gotta think, okay, well, in the ground it could take this much, so in the pot I might want to lower that a bit because in the pot the roots are more vulnerable. But I've heard of people having windmill palms like this take down lower and they've managed in a pot. See, in government housing, what I've also learned is anything with a trunk you can't really plant out here, which really sucks. It dampens my spirit because if I had it my way, and this is just me though, windmill palm there, windmill palm there, windmill palm there. Just three different windmill palms, or maybe even just a palm in two areas, just to add a little garden texture. But that's just me. That's government housing, though. You can't really plant a lot of things. I'm surprised they let me get away with this grass, to be honest, because that's quite tall. So I'm thinking if I can get away with that at least, maybe I can get away with some bananas since they'll die back every year and just mulch them. It's always colder back here than it. Okay, that's stuck. Loud engines. Annoying. Anyways, it's always colder back here than it ever is in the front. It's more of my warm spotted areas. But yeah, it's just what I've learned. You can take this and try to apply it to your palm growing if you want. It's just what I've learned, and I don't protect them during the winter because I don't want weak palms. I need strong, reliable palms. So I don't protect them when the temperatures drop down to 35 degrees. That's fine, but when it gets down to frost, especially for Chinese fan palm, which I know they could take it. I know for a fact they could take it, but most of these palms that I get here have been grown in a greenhouse, so I won't harden them off. I want to slowly adjust them to the cold. I don't want just that instant shock value of, oh wow, that's new, and the palm just declines after that. Now you do notice a little bit of yellowing on this palm because it did get scale. It was treated before I got it. But other than that, it's been good ever since then. We got a new spear coming up. We got a new spear coming up on this guy. This guy has not skipped a beat. We got new spears coming up on the Chinese fan palm here. Try to get in here. Here's another new spear. Sorry if the video's kind of dark. And that's another little spear coming up, but this is the newest leaf. Go up in here into my majesty. We got this spear starting to open up here. So hopefully that opens up a bit better. I'm just letting it do it naturally. I don't really mess with it and try to open it up. I notice that sometimes it can do a little bit more damage on your palms than it can anything. And another thing I've realized too is when they get more sun, they will just eventually open up the spears normally and naturally. Now, if you do get dead ends like that, which that's going to happen because it's dry in here and it's too cold to have them out, you'll have to help them out a bit. But otherwise than that, I don't really help them in any shape or form. And another thing I've realized too is like when you take them outside, it really helps with the pests. Like I had scale on this guy, which for my palm trees and for most of really just mainly my palm trees and one of my cycads, scale has been hitting my guys hard this year, like nonstop. And I feel like that when I take them outside, which I got more palms, I got like some more palms upstairs, but when I take them outside and they're not some of the more sensitive ones, which this one is sensitive, but it could take temps down to 35. Anyways, that the scale tends to eventually die anyways because they can't really stand that cold. I feel like that really helps with pests. Another thing I'll do is, like I said, I'll add a pesticide which slowly goes up through the sap of the palm and it'll kill anything. And then, of course, I'll spray my soap and my neem oil on it, and I'll just basically do a what I call a whole nuking the plant, which really seems to help. But that's what I've realized with keeping palms, housing palms, overwintering palms. It's it's one of those things, in my opinion, where you gotta give it as much light as you want if you want it to. Sorry. It's one of those things where if you want it to succeed in life, you gotta give it as much light as you can and as much water when it requires it. But otherwise than that, that's just kind of what I've realized with my plants and what I've came to the realization of with palm trees. And of course, like I said, every palm tree is different. Like this guy, I guess it tends to wants to stay more on the moist side. That's what I've heard. You can feel free to correct me down in the bottom. That's fine. But that's what I've heard of my zone pushing groups. Because they like to stay a little bit more moist. Not sure how that is in the pot. But again, I just let rain really take care of them. I just don't mess with them. I just let nature take care of them. And I completely stop fertilizing. I don't fertilize during the winter. If I do, it's very, very minimal. Very minimal. The main goal is to just get them through winter. Whatever fertilizers that they had, I want them just to kind of use that ample amount of energy just to get through the winter, not really grow. I don't want them to grow through the winter, but as you can see, they still want to grow. And as we can see, I can tug on the spears, and they're healthy. Healthy. Ugh. So all my palms are healthy, even though sometimes it gets cold and water hits them, but where I have them at, there's always good airflow, so I don't really worry about that. Usually during the winter time, we have nothing but good airflow here, so I don't really worry about that. They just it seems like if this area was to get way more warmer, which it is starting to, that they would just really thrive and do well here. Maybe besides the Chinese fan palm, it kind of has some difficulties a little bit, but otherwise than that, yeah, this is what I've learned, and I hope you guys can use this maybe to help you guys if you are in Indiana or something like that, and you're trying to keep your palms outdoors for most of the year, like I do. So far, it's December, and it's been warm enough to continuously keep my palms outside, and that's what I am going to do. Tomorrow, it's going to warm up. All the palms will go outside. No ifs, ands, or buts. Every palm outside. Just to help them out. Otherwise than that, I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and it helps me out, and it helps teach everybody everything about plants. So, thank you. I hope you guys have a good day.